Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share the messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves that are on this journey to love. And so I wanted to share a couple of messages I got through from people's healings yesterday, and again, so that it may help others. And also, I've just found another, I keep finding our old decks that I've got. And this is a deck from The Journey of the Hidden Realm. And it's by Barbara Moore, and I absolutely love it because the artwork is just gorgeous. And I asked to have a card for today, and it was the Three of Wands. And I'm going to read you the meaning from the book because it is just beautiful. Right, so 2 healings. The first one that I saw, they were, oh, and there's a fox. Oh, I wonder if you can see that out there in the back garden. Can you see he's just, oh, he's gone. Hang on. Oh, just as I started that. So I always say use the power of the fox to help you come out of tricky situations and come into your unions. Always, 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 every day invoke the fox. Okay, so, right. So the first one was, they were, oh God, he's just run again. Past me, right in front of the he just looked in. Oh, exciting. Right, so they were on a merry-go-round together, again, little children. The merry-go-round, and the little boy was getting off, and he was going off to some other people that had some candy sweets. Then he was getting back on again, then he was going back off again to go and get more sweets, and then back on again. And the little girl was just stood on the heart the whole time, because what I saw was that the merry-go-round was a heart. And so very symbolic, right? Even the name, the merry-go-round, you know, we feel like we're going round and round and round and round in circles. But eventually the little boy, somebody snatched the sweets from him and dropped them. And so it was basically, and the sweets were symbolizing love, basically. And you know, basically love and relationships and all those sorts of things. But he kept going back to the little girl in the heart center. And he said that it was because he basically had been hurt before in the past, and that he found it difficult to trust people. But we did a heart healing, and then they basically ended up on the heart together on the merry-go-round, and it span really, really fast and then blew up into gold stardust and red hearts. Now, again, that is so symbolic because basically the merry-go-round of life. And so, of course, we have to keep jumping on and off until we've learned that actually the place where we've come from is the best, is where we feel the happiest. And of course, if he just stood on the centre all the time, he wouldn't know that, would he? Because he would just know that. Whereas by getting off and on, getting off and on, getting off and on, he's creating more and more knowledge about what he really wants. So just like we say, you know, just like you go through your life, and the more that you have contrast, the more experiences that you have which teach you what you don't want. In the same way that was exactly explaining what was going on. And so the lady came back to me and she said, but, you know, I feel like he's choosing these people over me, and that's exactly my situation because he goes off and has other relationships with other people and da-da-da. And I felt incredibly hurt by it. And that's the thing. The thing is to say, well, A, you're being tricked. That's happening again for a reason, for you to realise firstly that sex without feeling and without love is just sex. It's just a physical act. It has no magic to it. Sex with a twin flame. Oh my God! Right, right. When I say that, the fox comes again. Right, sex with the twin flame, although I've never had sex. So my twin, I've shared before that he has many partners because he's in an open relationship and he's very into the adult sex scene. So that's been a big learning for me, is not to take any of that personally, because I know that is all about an action. It's got no meaning to it. It's got no feeling involved. And therefore, I have learned not to take any of that personally. Of course, at the time, at the beginning, I did. I thought it was because I wasn't good enough and I wasn't blah, 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 blah. And I took it very personally that it was hurtful against me. But of course, it's not. It's got nothing to do with me or you. It's just that they have to carry on learning their lessons. And they haven't learned that yet. And so one of the big things, and I know the big thing for me and my twin is about breaking down sexual templates from, all of the, it's the eons of time before about what sex means, etc. And so, so that's why you have to be able to separate yourself, because it's nothing to do with you. It's not that they're choosing someone else over you. It's that they have got their piece of the pie to manage, right? And we all have a piece of the pie, of this energetic pie that we're breaking down. And we're all breaking down our own little bit of it. And so it enables you to be much more objective than think, oh, okay, well, I know he's not doing that to hurt me. I know he's just taking his bite of the pie and dealing with it any which way he can until we're ready to eat our pie together. Right. And so that's what you have to think. Okay, the second one the second one was, again, really lovely. They were walking along a beach. It was a moonlight beach. And I saw him writing in the sand, "Will you marry me?" And then as they looked to the right, there was like a little drawbridge going to a sailing boat. And then they walked onto the sailing boat. And at the back of the sailing boat was a table, red and white tablecloth with a bottle of champagne. And I saw them make a toast. And then they were like dancing in the moonlight. And the song that came through was Dancing in the Moonlight. And so again, sort of lovely. And he said to her, twin said to me, "This is what I really want to be able to do," and which was, again, really sweet, because it's that thing of like, oh, I just wish I could do this, it's kind of like that. It's a bit like frustrated, and kind of a bit frustrated with themselves, and a bit like, oh, but this is what I really want to do, that kind of feel. And anyway, so I heard back from the lady today, and sure enough, she said that that they have talked about going sailing with each other. She says, our plan for a few years was to do just that, sail off the grid. And life revolved around sailing. So she said, this healing gives me the confirmation I didn't even know I was seeking. So, I mean, and that sort of thing just really makes, you know what, that totally warms my heart. And just makes me think, you've got to all keep on going, because there is so much. What I felt from, I feel their energy, and they're kind of like, oh, I just want this, I just really want this. And so it was very sweet, because then I asked to pick a card, and it was the Three of Wands. So I'm going to read it out, because the meaning to it is just beautiful. And this deck is just, it's just, I think, my favourite. I've got a couple of favourites, but I love this. So, in the Two of Wands, you faced a decision and made a commitment. From that moment until the time of fruition, there was uncertainty. Even when you absolutely know what you want and have taken all of the proper steps to achieve it, until it actually happens, you wonder, will it work out? You imagine what it will feel like when it does. You try not to think about what it will feel like if it doesn't. The Three of Wands heralds the fruit of your passion, the successful realization of the goals you've worked so hard to achieve. The results are so much more than you ever dreamed. Creations of the heart always are. Well, you know what? So this is saying everything that they're putting in, all those decisions that need to be made, all the dreams that they've, tried to put at the back of their minds because they're afraid that if they really, really taste them, then they couldn't imagine having it pulled away. And same with you, you know, you have to keep believing in the dreams that your heart is giving you, because we are being, you know, all of this guidance and everything, we are being led, you know, we're being led down a path to follow our heart. And so you have to believe, because this is creation, right? This is very much, you know, it ties along with the message from yesterday of the bunny rabbits. It's all about fertility and creation. And I'm going to say 2 funny stories just to get, you know, because I think we need a little bit of lightness on this journey. Right, so we've had the message recently about the penguins. And penguins, when they find their mate, they put a little pebble, stone, and then they mate for life. Well, on the news, we've had loads. We've had some snow in England. And I was at my mum's, and my mum watches the news. I mean, God knows why. It's the most depressing thing ever. But anyway, it cut to the regional weather. I kid you not. The weather news, this is news, cut to a picture of 2 penguins and drew a diagram of how penguins walk in the snow. And that was how they were telling the country to walk like a penguin. And I was just like, I couldn't stop laughing, because I was like, oh my God, thank you, Twin Spirit. I needed that. I mean, just hilarious. The next day I'm out walking my dog, because it was icy. My dog kept picking up, getting pebbles, like big pebbles, stuck to its feet. And I was thinking, what's wrong with her? Because she was kind of like flipping her feet all the time. And then when I went over, I had to keep, literally on this walk, I had to keep picking the stones off her feet. So I was again like, okay, thank you. Another one, really sweet. Yesterday, we were talking about the Easter bunnies, right? And obviously Jesus and all of this. And, you know, one of the first things when I started on this journey was realizing that Jesus was an energy and he was a twin flame and all of that kind of amazing stuff that you just think, what? You were like, what? Anyway, I come back yesterday and I have somebody that is staying for B&B. And they WhatsApped me, which is an instant messenger. And their profile picture with was Jesus with a massive big red heart pulsating out of his heart with doing a thumbs up like that. So I was like, okay, that's a little nod from up above to say, yes, definitely keep on going. So the message is, you know, be able to look at your situation objectively. Remember that your twin isn't doing anything. Again, there's a difference, right? If it's your true twin flame, they will not do anything deliberately to hurt you, right? They may be doing very silly things. They might say silly things, but not deliberately to hurt you. They might, if it's an abusive relationship, that is not a twin flame relationship, right? So you have to figure out, you know, it's very clear, like, you know, all of the crazy things that have happened with me and my twin has been incredibly hurtful. But now I can see he wasn't trying to hurt me. He was actually trying to protect me, because he never wanted me to go into that lifestyle with him. And so now I can see it. But of course, at the time I couldn't. I thought there was something wrong with me and he didn't like me and all of these, you know, crazy things, because it triggered all of my insecurities. So that's what you have to look at. What is it triggering for you? Is it triggering your insecurities? And then look at that in a different way and realize that actually they're probably trying to protect you. Because the other thing is, sex without feeling is nothing. Right? And that's the lesson that you will teach when you come together in your sacred sexual union. All right. Well, I hope that helps. If you want to come to me for healing, for a reading, or for a letter, please do. And in the meantime, enjoy this beautiful card. All right. Take care. Bye.